Is Tether potentially crashing Bitcoin? It's something that we see a lot on Reddit right now. It's being shared on Twitter. A lot of Bitcoin or crypto critics try to spread rumors about this. Bitcoin maxis, especially, they try to dismiss this as FUD. Others then say, no, this is actually not FUD. There are serious allegations. In this video, I want to kind of dig a bit and give you my own opinion, tell you a bit on what I'm doing in all this, and hopefully this is of some value to you. So if you like this, enjoy today's video. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian and my channel is all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful world of blockchain, cryptocurrencies, decentralization in general. And today I want to address a topic that gets thrown around a lot. And I feel some people are overblowing it. Other people are totally trying to sweep it under the rug. Some people try to spread lies. Others try to talk stuff better than it actually is. And what I'm just trying to do here, I'm trying to kind of explain things as they are, at least from my point of view. Share a bit on how these facts, and I'm really trying to present facts to you, how they affect my opinion, and I hope it does the same to you. Remember, you never want to base your opinion on other opinions, because that's just kind of a house of cards. You're trying to base your opinions based on stone cold facts. So let's kind of dig into those a little bit. I'll do a screen share so you can see this a bit. If you go on Reddit, so this is one of the main Reddits out there. We're talking about 3.1 million members. So that's subreddit /cryptocurrency. I can just refresh that so you can kind of see this for yourself. And yeah, if you scroll down here, one of the most upvoted posts here, posted 17 hours ago, 8.6 thousand people. So 8,600 people upvoted that post. And let's click on it and see here. Tether has over 60 billion under their management. Actually, if they are 100% back, they should have 62.5 billion. I'll talk in a second about what this actually is. Under their management, just 13 employees. That's a record. The previous record holder was Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme with 50 billion under management and 25 employees. Isn't this concerning given Tether's refusal to be audited? So they're linking all kinds of sources here. Also, I got this video super a lot from Coffeezilla, relatively large YouTuber in the US who made a video about exposing Tether. And yeah, it's quite a revealing video. I also want to highlight that none of the information that was in this video actually should be new information to you, right? If you have any kind of significant money in crypto, I hope that any of this information is actually information that you have. And I'm going to link this up so you can see this for yourself. And so what I want to do is a bit of comment on, like, draw out some of the facts and then kind of give you a bit of my input. Hopefully, none of this information is new information to you. That would be actually the best. And yeah, so let's kind of do this. So let's start off with what is Tether actually. Tether is a so-called stablecoin, which means it's a coin that's held stable to something else. And in this case, it's stable to the US dollar. That's why its ticker symbol is UST, US dollar Tether. And so it should hold a dollar, which most of the time it actually does. Yeah, you can, if you look historical data, I think, yeah, you can kind of look open, like it's pretty much a dollar, to be honest. I hardly ever see that it's not a dollar. Yeah, it's been holding up really well. Every once in a while, you see some small spikes. Here it goes to $1.03. That was like 3 weeks ago. So it's kind of, it's doing its job well. So the question is, why is it stable? Well, there's two ways to create a stable coin, or two ways that stable coins are being created. You could be stable towards an ounce of gold. You could be stable to anything. But the way you do it is either you back it with actual dollars and you give people the right to claim these dollars. So a dollar of Tether is worth a dollar. So the company Tether, a private company, should basically have $62.5 billion in Tether. And yeah, you have the right to claim those, or should have. The other option is the typical DAI model, make a DAI, which means it's algorithmically pegged. There's an algo behind it that pegs it. And Tether is not of that sort. So here is where it gets. Let's talk a bit about. Let's talk at something first. Tether has been around for around 6 years, and it really never got much attention. And you can kind of track this all the way up here. So if you go back even to the 2017, 2018 hype, you will relatively fast see that the market cap back then was around $1 billion. And the reason was just that most people didn't really see the use case for Tether, because people were like, why should I trust this company instead of actually owning dollars? So why should I even do this? And there was no real reason for it. Now, the key thing, pay attention to this. The entire market here was generally an upward market, right? So it was a market that was rather bullish. So people wanted to get into crypto. So they wanted to get dollars or euros into crypto. So there was not much need for a stablecoin. But you know what happened? 2017, the entire market cap was, I think, 800 billion. Tether was like 1.6, 1.7 billion. So it was like 0 point something percent of the market cap. It was irrelevant, right? It was completely irrelevant. And it was pretty much only listed on Bitfinex, and there's some really weird ties there. But after that, people wanted to get out of crypto because they saw it crashing. And the problem was that so many exchanges, especially Binance, didn't have any fiat. And so people would have to get off the exchange in order to go to fiat. There were only a few exchanges, Bitstamp, Kraken, Coinbase, to get fiat on. So Binance said, let me get that stable coin on so people can get into that stable coin, and then they can actually get out of Bitcoin and out of crypto. And that is how I can keep my customers. And so it's very interesting how, like, it was very perfect timing when suddenly in 2018, Tether really started to get some attention, and then even more, right? When you look here, 2019, and then suddenly 2020 around the halving, this stuff started getting gnarly, right? So if you just look here, beginning of 2020, we're still at 6 billion, not much to be honest. And people still talk that here actually in 2017, Tether manipulated the Bitcoin price. Now, I don't know, but here, look at this. Like a year ago, right? We're talking about 6 billion, and now suddenly it's almost like 9x of that. We're talking about over $60 billion that are in there. And if you look at which exchanges are actually mainly trading Tether, well, no real surprise. It's Binance, 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 Binance. And yeah, why did they do it? Because that is how Binance survived. Otherwise, they really would have gotten under the water because a lot of customers would have fled because they had no kind of exit out of that. So where is the entire problem in all that? Because on the surface of it, it looks super solid. Well, obviously, you always ask yourself, what are, in a decentralized ecosystem like Bitcoin, right? What are the centralized target points? And there are two in my opinion. And both, when you talk to any kind of Bitcoin maximalist, they'll try to sweep this away, which to me makes zero sense that you're trying to do this. Because at the end, you're trying to find reasonable arguments. If you can't find reasonable arguments, you either deal with the risks or you just stay away from them. Risk number one is Satoshi dumping his or their stack. And they own about 10% of all the Bitcoins in circulation. Right? So it's a significant amount. 10%. That's actually really, really large. To me, it's always interesting. They criticize Vitalik for his stash in Ethereum. He has a tiny amount in comparison to what Satoshi has. Yes, Satoshi got his Bitcoins differently than Vitalik had, but still, people never talk about that, right? It's 10%. I'm telling you, if Satoshi dumped his 1 point something million Bitcoins, I mean, we're talking about a serious price suppression, depending on if he dumps this in a constructive manner or in a malicious manner. Bitcoin maxis, for some weird reason, just sweep this under the rug and just say, doesn't matter. As a good investor, you need to put this into your risk calculation. It's super important you do this. Otherwise, you're going to get tricked, or otherwise you're going to make stupid decisions. The second one, and that's one that obviously as soon as prices go down, I'll explain to you why, is a topic that always comes up, and that's Tether. The reason is it is the #1 trading pair now for pretty much. It's by far the largest volume, 85 billion. It's basically the trading volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. So, and then if you go on the Ethereum trading volume, just for example, and you can do this with any coin, and you look at the markets. Why am I not getting proper markets here? What's happening here? Okay, I have no freaking clue what's happening here. But so if you go to any normal kind of market, you will see Bitcoin USDT, Bitcoin USDT. Okay, this is the Binance USD. Then you have Coinbase, FTX, Bitfinex. They actually trade USD. Interesting, right? Bitfinex, why don't they have their own USDT anymore? Curious. Then you have KuCoin, USDT. So suddenly when you go at all the large exchanges, the first coin that always pops up is USDT. It's by far the largest trading pair. The biggest problem is if that trading pair is not attractive anymore, if people don't want USDT anymore, for whatever reason, we're going to talk it out. It has nothing to do with USDT. It's the entire market's going to go underwater. And it's going to go, in my opinion, significantly underwater. In my pure estimations, if people don't want to hold USDT anymore, they don't trust it, the entire market, in my opinion, would crash by over 95%. Every single coin. There may be a few exceptions. For example, USDC, Circle USD, because it's regulated, it's audited. I think that coin would probably double or triple because everyone would flee into that coin. Algo stable coins would get slaughtered. I think Bitcoin would go way under 10,000. Ethereum would go probably under $100. I know these numbers sound crazy right now, but you're just not allowed to forget that there's 65 or $62 billion that would just vanish. Now, why would they vanish? Let's discuss this through, and then let's talk about the probabilities here. Well, these things have to be backed, right? And wouldn't it be super simple for Tether to just say, okay, for every dollar you're giving me, I'm printing a new USDT, and I'm totally transparently showing you that I have 62.5 billion USDT. Well, for years, they have never found an auditor that actually managed to audit them. Really weird stories. And now they came out with this, to me, a bit suspicious kind of overview. And that's the official website. You can check this out on Tether. And that is from March 31st. And so that's how the reserves, and again, it's not really audited. But so let me, even those numbers here, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. If I would represent such numbers about my own company, Cake DeFi, and I would present these numbers to the auditor or to the authorities here in Singapore, I'm not kidding, I would go to jail. And I'll explain to you why. Tether is supposed to hold $1 for every Tether they have. Otherwise, the Tether is not worth what's on there. And so they are saying, okay, these are 100% of our funds. Okay, this is cash and cash equivalent. So 76% they're saying is cash and cash equivalent. Sounds good, right? The majority. Okay, then 12.55, that's secured loans. Whatever that means, right? Who secures them? What are they secured by? Who knows? These are corporate bonds here. And then the other part here is corporate, is other investments. For example, digital tokens. So to me, right? Again, this is nothing about cash and cash equivalent. And they're actually stating that, right? Only that is cash and cash equivalent. 76% sounds good, right? Okay. If we look at the separation here, and that's just where, to me, I mean, if I would do this as a CEO in my company, I think it's either close to fraudulent or absolutely ignorant, right? Somewhere in there. Okay, we have fiduciary deposits. Let's not go into details there. It's not that relevant. 3.87% of that is actual cash. Then we have reverse repo notes and treasury bills. To be dead honest, I think these are the only things here with the fiduciary notes, right? So those things, those four, that are actually cash and cash equivalent. Commercial papers are never, ever cash and cash equivalents. Maybe they managed to do it as an accounting trick, but dude, this is not a cash and cash equivalent. This is an unsecured loan to another company. And it could be their own company. It could be their own subsidiary, right? So to me, like actually looking at this, right? So 1/3 of the 75%, so around 25% is actually covered. 25%. 75, and that's at the best. These are non-audited statements, right? So again, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to spread FUD. This is not FUD. I mean, this is just facts, right? Again, you can, if you want, type this in, commercial paper, and just look what is a commercial paper, and you go to Investopedia, and here is a commonly used type of unsecured short-term debt, typically used for financial of payroll. Unsecured. How can something that's unsecured be a cash and cash equivalent? I don't get it, but whatever. So Tether actually is nowhere in its best idea backed. Nowhere. And even there, we have to trust those numbers. Now, this is facts, right? I will always, like Bitcoin maxis, they will go and they will spread, they will say that's FUD. And then obviously you will have newspapers who will take this and say that's all a scam. But to be honest, the fact is somewhere in the middle. And the reason why the fact is somewhere in the middle is just like the US dollar, US Tether is going to be trusted as long as it's trusted. It's just like the dollar. Whether it's backed or not, at the end, it's always about it being trusted. Now, the more the market goes down, the more this trust is going to be tested. And again, I don't know if they are backed. I don't know, maybe these commercial papers are unsecured, but it's fine. Who knows, right? So in my entire model here that I'm running, 1/4 of Tether is actually dollars. And that's the optimal case. So we're talking about 15, 16 billion. So about 50 billion or 46 billion, they're just smokes and mirrors. But actually most of our dollars, most of our euros, they're exactly the same. So I'm not saying what Tether is doing is right? I'm not saying it's wrong because I don't know. I'm just saying it's actually very common on how money works. Now let's go to the probabilities. The unlikely scenario that the Tether is totally pegged and backed, I just don't see that. I really just don't see that scenario. For the simple reason, first of all, they are saying they're not backed. They can claim that, but it's not. And I see massive hurdles in actually claiming Tether into dollars. Now comes the challenge, especially when the market goes down. Maybe people want to switch their Tether into actual dollars. And maybe there aren't enough dollars. And then people panic. I think that's a low probability event. I really want to be very clear. Low probability event. But it's possible. And whoever puts this away to me in the crypto field, it's trust. Don't trust, verify. You can trust, but you need to be able to verify. The entire Bitcoin credo is around this, right? But here suddenly it's about trust. Makes zero sense. Now, let's put this into perspective again. I own more Bitcoin, DeFi chain, and ETH than ever before. To me, these are, whether they are posted on Reddit, whether CoffeeZilla makes a video, that doesn't change my opinion because no new facts were revealed, right? New facts would be if suddenly Tether, if there were an audit and the audit would be totally off. Tether is not being audited. They've never been audited. They always refused to get audited. They always said they wanted to. To me, very questionable on what's really going on. But at the end, it doesn't change my investment decision because I'm aware of the risks. Tether could be running the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. They could have been pumping the Bitcoin price. basically giving out fake Tether, fake dollars, pumping up the price, buying a lot of Bitcoin, then selling all the Bitcoins back, in buying back all the dollars, netting a lot of money by pumping up the Bitcoin price. Now, obviously, as soon as the price collapses, it could make the entire scheme collapse. To me, that's the major risk here. I think that major risk is improbable. It's not very likely. I think the more likely scenario, because so many people in the entire system have an incentive to not make this crash, even if it were fake, right? I just want to be clear here. I don't know. That everyone has an incentive that at the end, it's very unlikely it's going to crash. I know I sound probably a bit cynical. I maybe sound a bit not sure, but you can't be. I'm amazed that there's not a bigger news about this, right? The news always try to pick up on things in Bitcoin, and like it talks about criminals and it talks about money laundering. But dude, to be honest, it's absolutely ridiculous to kind of criticize those things. I'm always amazed that the news doesn't pick up the serious stuff, right? And it's glad. It just shows how uneducated a lot of the outlets are. But to me, these are the serious discussion points. And as an investor, it has to influence your decision. For example, in my decision making, that is the reason why I would never ever go all in crypto and never ever say that Bitcoin is the ultimate. To me, that is like when I spoke with Michael Saylor and he said he's all in and he would leverage. To me, that's the black swan. That is what many people are underestimating. Like, just think about how much MicroStrategy has pumped into the market, right? Billions. Dude, that's like rookie numbers in comparison to what Tether has, 62.5 billions. And you don't know what these kind of, whatever, 2/3 of the entire holdings are. They could hold Bitcoins there actually, right? Because it's a short-term loan, maybe to a company that does nothing else than buy Bitcoin. Who knows, right? They could be lending to themselves. Who knows? So just keep this in mind. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to, just because the market is down right now, tell you that this is a likely scenario. I'm telling you, I have more Bitcoins, DeFi chain, and ETH than ever before. Why? Because I think this is a very unlikely scenario. I think there's a lot of scenarios that are way more likely, especially on the positive side. But at the end, it is the reason why I am not all in and why I'm cautious and why I would always just be rational about this. And again, if you ever meet people that just write this off as FUD or who say that's absolutely not true, stay away from these people. If they lie about this topic, they lie about many topics. Really good investors see things as they are, not how they wish they are or how they wish not that they are. They see them as they are. And that's a really important quality for you to learn. So I'm trying to present to you the facts. I give you a bit of my opinion. And yeah, I'll link a lot of things down below. Let me know what you think about this. What do you think about Tether? What do you think about the investment decision? How do you see this as risk? And obviously, if you like this stuff, I would love for you to follow, subscribe, click the bell icon. I'm bullish. Otherwise, I wouldn't be significantly in, right? I'm saying this. Again, it's important to be able to vocalize different futures, right? And think different futures through. It's super important. It's a very important skill. And so I'm trying to do that, and I hope that helps you. If it does, click the bell icon, subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.